Howdy YouTube, it is Ashton here, a balloon twister, balloon artist, or Day by Day Balloons, if you know me by that name. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a pretty simple tutorial on something that I think is a ton of fun, something I use at restaurants all the time, and it gets a great reaction from people. And this is called the Hitchhiker, if you will, and if the name doesn't say it, I hope that the balloon itself kind of gives you the idea of what it is. It is very easy to make, and you can do this a lot of different ways. You can do a cool ninja, or you can do a really cool alien, but today I'm going to be walking you through the zombie, and especially with all the Walking Dead fans out there and all the people that are playing Minecraft, zombies are a huge deal right now, and so I wanted to give you guys a quick how-to on something that I use all the time. So for this design, you are going to need 4 different balloons. 2 of them preferably should match the head of whatever it is that you're trying to create. I think that that creates some good synergy in the design. If you get a really crazy request for different colors, obviously obliged. Don't tell them, no, I'm not going to do that. So when you're doing this, you're definitely at the mercy of whoever your customer is at that moment. So if they want some crazy colors, do some crazy colors. But if not, I would say 2 260s should be the same color, should match the head, and then I would use probably a rose or a pink for the brain. And again, you could do an alien, ninja, I mean, the options are limitless, but for this one I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the zombie. So, you are going to need 2 260s. I usually do about maybe a 4-finger tail. If you guys can kind of see that, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. If that is kind of hard for you to get, I would say just do 6 pumps into the 260, and that should give you roughly about what you're looking for. So to start off, I usually just do 1 pinch twist in both 260s. And this can kind of get frowned upon because it's easy for this to come undone, but that's just how I do it. So I do 1 in each of them. So usually I'll blow one up, do a pinch twist, blow the other one up, and then also do a pinch twist. And so now that you've got both of these pinch twists, all I do, bring them together. And you can do that pretty easily. If you kind of want to pull them apart and then twist them as you go, that works. Usually at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna measure your head. And there's a lot of funny things you can do. I would definitely say make it your own. If you're just like messing around the house, obviously you're not gonna be like, let me measure your head, me. But if you're doing this in front of people, I would try to find something funny to do. Sometimes I'll grab a kid's head and just be like, oh, hurricane. So you can do that. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use my own head. So you guys kind of get an idea. I'm going to get really frizzy hair, but it's okay. So after you get that measurement, try to pinch wherever it is that it fits pretty well for them, and just go ahead and twist that off. And so now you should have something that looks like this. So you got the 2 pinch twists right here, which are going to be the hands for the design, and then you've got kind of this big oval shape that's going to be for their head. And then what you're going to want to do is you can do them at the same time, or you can do them separately, but you're going to need 2 pinch twists, 1 for each 260. So just do, you know, a 1-finger bubble, and then a 1-finger bubble. And so now that you're here, you should have 2 pinch twists on either side of this oval shape, and this is going to be the start of the body. Now, this is important. Proportion control is a big deal, especially when you're working with balloons. So you're going to want to be mindful of where you're at with the tail here. If you can, I would practice this enough to where it only takes 2 260s to do the whole body. It's just preference. When I was first starting out with this design, it sometimes did take me more because I would run out of tail for the legs. But it makes things a lot easier, and it's also going to save you supplies in the long run. So if you can, try to get to the point where you're only using 2 260s for the body. So it's just going to be a lot faster, it'll be a lot less stressful for you. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make the body. So remember on the design there is kind of like a small torso. I usually do about maybe 4 to 5 fingers for the body, depending on how big your fingers are. They could be way smaller. But I would go probably right about here. So you've got a little torso right here, and then you need 2 more pinch twists. And just to clarify, it's going to be 1 pinch twist on each 260. So you've got the first one on this one right here, and then come over here. You can do them separately or you can do them together. It's really just preference at that point. I feel like I have less popping and losing air when I do them separately, but I'm sure there are people out there that would disagree. So you can kind of see that these coming together a little bit. So you got the arms, got the legs right here. How you do the legs is very simple, and depending on where you're at with the tail, you can make the legs longer, shorter. Again, it's just preference. But I'm probably going to come about right here, if you can see that. So you got maybe an 8 or 9 finger bubble right there. I'm going to go ahead and twist that off. And this is going to look like a loop twist because it is a loop twist. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push all the air out to the bottom right here. And then if you can see, I am going to do the loop twist, but I'm going to have a bubble at the end of this. I'm going to twist that off. Hopefully you guys are getting that. And then if you can, this is just out of precaution. Sometimes they'll come undone. So I would go ahead and lock twist them. How you're going to do that is just grab the bubble, however big or small it is, and try to see if you can get it through that loop twist. If you can't, you can pinch twist it off and do it that way if you would like. It's just preference at the end of the day. But, you know, the less times I have to go back and fix something, the better. So I try to make sure that my stuff isn't going to just come undone the second that I'm done with it. And then you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So push it through. Booyah. So through the loop twist. And then what I try to do is I just try to kink it. Okay, so I just kind of grab it a little bit. These are really tough balloons, so you don't have to be too worried about that. So you can kink it that way, or you can grab it and kink it that way as well. So now you've kind of got the leg shape, his little booty. And this is where his head is going to be. Now, I usually try to wait until the end to blow up the head, just for a dramatic effect, especially if they don't know exactly what it's going to look like or they haven't seen it yet. I always get a great reaction. So I go ahead and make whatever I'm going to put in the hands. And again, for an alien, it could be a blaster. For a ninja, it could be a sword. But for the zombie, it's going to be a brain. That's just how we roll here. And so all I did was I just tied the nozzle into the hands right there. And then I usually do, what would that be? Maybe like a 5 to 6 finger bubble. You want the brain to be noticeable. All you're going to do is you're going to make that, twist it off, and then grab it, and twist it back into the hands. And you want 4 of these. At least that's how I make it. You could stop at 3, which would be technically a bird body, but I give it a 4th bubble just to kind of round out the whole shape. So again, measure it if you can. You want it to all be very similar in size. And then what you're going to do for this is you're going to take this balloon right here and you're going to push it through. Yeah, there you go. And then if you're feeling it, I would definitely say come back down. So right about there, so you've got a very, I don't know, I guess, squared off looking brain, what have you. And so there you go. You're going to want to kind of try to kink it, make it look, I don't know why I'm saying kink so much, just so you know. There you go, and you've got a pretty good looking brain. I kind of try to make sure that these look as clean as possible. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And then for the rest of this, you can just cut it off. So as soon as you got this shape, you got 4 bubbles or 3 bubbles, whatever you're comfortable with, you just cut the rest of this off. I'm going to pick that up later. Oh well. Alright. And we got this. And even at this point, I don't blow up the head yet. What I do is take a Sharpie, and you can take that if you want that too. Nice little pen holder. People always make fun of me for that, or they laugh. I like to think they're laughing with me. And so all I do is I do some squiggly lines going up. You can see that. Same thing on the back. You probably don't need to do the back, but I do it just in case. So there you go. You got some squiggly lines on the brain, so now it kind of looks more like a brain. And you can do this if you want to. Just personal preference. If it's a little kid, I would not recommend doing this. Unless the parents are just like, oh, it's fine. Maybe put a little bit of red there. Kind of looks like blood. I'm that guy. And then for the big finish, I use an 11-inch round. and it looks like this. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video if you guys are interested in getting something like this. This is a seasonal balloon, so they may still sell it. I buy my balloons at the Mayflower, but you can also find, again, Ninja heads, you can find alien heads, and even if you can't get the 11-inch round version, maybe you can only find the 5-inch round, it still is going to look super cool. And if you do it well, people are going to love it no matter what. I just love the 11-inch because it looks really big. It's very, very noticeable, if you will. So I would use 11-inch if you can find it. They're a little bit pricier, but I would do it. And just to make sure that you guys caught that, all I'm doing is taking that nozzle and twisting it into the 2-pinch twists. Not these, where the brain is. Doing it right here to these 2-pinch twists. And it's very easy. You're just going to wrap that into the balloon. And at that point, you are done. If you want, you can add some more artwork if you think that the head is lacking in artwork, or maybe add something to the body itself. But at that point, you've got a really cool, awesome looking hat. People love, love, love these. Like I said, great reactions every single time. People immediately wear them, and they're a ton of fun. And the best part is this is only 4 balloons, so it's gonna be very fast, it's gonna be very quick, and the reaction and what you're gonna get from it is really what's important. And so, this is, again, Day by Day Balloons. I'm super glad that you guys stopped by to check out this video. And thanks for sticking with me. I look forward to making some more tutorials with you guys.